65, and I've got to get my glasses on to read what Kodak reels I'm going to be taping from this now. It's Kodak reels number 62, 63, and 64A, 65 and 66, which is when Marcia Schwartz came to Paris. The 67, 68 is Margie learning to ride her bicycle when we were still on Rue de Paris. And if we have enough room, it'll be also 72, which is taking some trips around Europe, and 76 at the end of our assignment to Belgium. There's some Lepec scenes, etc. I'm going to see if I can hold this now. That didn't seem to work. If I can put the camera power on, maybe if I stop it. No. It's on camera power. It's doing everything itself, so I have this remote control device. Doesn't seem to be doing very much right now. I can't stop it. Okay, we'll start taping. Okay, it's 1974, February, Germany. Waldenbuch house. There's the swing set we brought all the way from, I guess we bought that in Boca Raton. Boca Raton to Berblingen to Waldenbuch, and we left it there. I guess we got about 5 years of good service out of that swing set with Mark. There's the TV tower that Michael and Tommy and Gordon walked to, about a 5 or 6 mile, 7 mile round trip walk. There's the view from our balcony. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in Bussang, France. We must have gone back to look at the house, or I don't know where that Waldenbuch clip came from, but we've been living in France for the past 2 years. It's now 1974. There goes one of the kiddies down the hill. I guess that's Michael working his way down the hill. You can see all the grass patches there. Lots of snow, and probably some man-made snow on the hillside. There goes, is that Tommy or Michael? Hard to tell. That looks like Tommy. No, it looks like Michael. They are brothers, aren't they? Caryn and Tommy carrying their sleds up the hill. That's probably Michael or Margie right next to them out of camera range. Michael giving a little snowball fight. There goes Tommy running by. Bussang was one of these IBM Committee d'Entreprise locations that we went to 2 or 3 times for skiing. There goes Michael sliding down the hill. Is that Caryn right there? Tommy's going down. He's steering real good. Look at that Tommy boy go. Excellent, Tommy. Quite nice. Very good. Let me make sure the camera's working okay and it's recording. Yep, camera's moving right along. Not sure how the colors are going to come out on this, but looks like it's coming okay. That Margie there? There's the Margie girl. Hey, Margie, go get him, Tiger. She's going down the hill real good. She's got her feet in good position. She knows what she's doing. All right. We bought those sleds in Germany and took them with us to France. Got a lot of good mileage out of those sleds. There goes Gordno. Pipe in his mouth and all. Margie on his lap, having a ball. Poet and doesn't know it. Adrie and Caryn and Michael. Here's by the old Volvo. I think we took a lot of day trips since we didn't do much skiing that time. Had a nice pension in our ski lodge. It was just too warm. There's the Michael doing a little dance with one of the mountain climbing hats that we used to collect. Whatever happened to that hat, Michael? I think I got that hat my first trip to Germany in 1959 when I was in the Army. Fort Lee, Virginia. That was our balcony. I think we had a very rustic apartment in Bussang. bunk beds for the kids, 4 bunk beds, and a little Caryn taking pictures. He's so cute. What a cutie pie. There's the Volvo warming up. Committee d'entreprise was unaware that one wrong move on his part and the Boers might have attacked him. He was about 20 meters in front of us, and there's Margie and Tommy and Caryn. I'm not sure where we were right there. Oh, it's a service station on the road. We stopped to get some snacks, I guess. We couldn't buy gas in those army bases, but army service stations. But now we're at Spangdahlem Air Force Base, Bitburg, visiting the Burkes. There's Margie Girl and Stuart, and a buddy of Stuart's. Isn't that Keithy there? Margie and Keith again. Volvo looked like it went through some snow. This was our monthly trip to Bitburg or Spangdahlem. We must have gone every 4, 5, 6 weeks to Germany to do our grocery shopping, visit with the Burkes, get all the stuff we couldn't get. There's Dryden up on the porch, giant schnauzer. This was the trip that Sava was in heat, and Dryden got all excited, and he was a very playful dog, and somehow he bit Houdini, the two-ended dog, and de-eyed the dog. Joni didn't discover that Houdini's eye was hanging out for about a week after it happened, and the eyeball had dried out, and they had to have an operation, of course, to remove the eye. Did Joni ever get a glass eye for Houdini? This was also the trip that we stayed at the Spangdahlem housing, guest housing, and there was no heat in the place, and the pipes froze, so we had no hot water. When Stuart lived off base, I guess he had enough room. We stayed with him in their house until the Deutschmark became more valuable than the dollar. There's his tactical fighter wing. Anyway, the cost of housing was too expensive, so Stuart moved on base with Joni and the kids, and then we stayed in base housing. Usually we'd go for a weekend. It was about a 5-6 hour drive from, and we always went through Verdun, World War I. There's the bayonet trenches they're talking about there. Memorial. There's a huge memorial we're going to see in a minute. There it is. That's a memorial to the trench warfare, World War I French and Allied soldiers that were killed. There's a sleeping lion, dead lion memorial statue. These are the woods in Verdun where hundreds of thousands of American and French as well as German soldiers were killed in the war to end all wars. Of course, 20-something years later there was World War II. And luckily now we've had 45 years of peace after World War II. There's another memorial up on the hill, and these rows of graves. This is another view of that memorial that we saw from a distance, and I think if we come on a close-up you'll see the cross, sort of a military German type cross that is built into the structure of that tower. It's almost getting too light here. I'm taping these movies now in the 3rd floor of our house in Burblingen. It's the 13th of April 1991. Tommy is coming to visit in another 11-12 days. There's Margie among the barbed wire. That's also part of the memorial in the trenches. We used to go walking in the trenches quite often. And now we're back in Paris. This is one of the famous Paris parks, Butte de Chaumont, which was a wilderness area. They had high climbing trails, waterfalls. You were like being in the country right in the middle of town, somewhere in the